it's really fascinating what's going on in LA. You've got this, you got downtown. You've got a few blocks downtown in a city of what is it, 8 million people. You've got a few blocks downtown in which some real goons, Antifa-like leftist crazy people are rioting. And even some people using the riots to loot stores. You probably saw pictures of the Apple store being looted, a jewelry store being looted, a bunch of stores being looted, which is horrific and tragic. It's not clear that the same people rioting and demonstrating are the looters. It might be different groups, people taking advantage of the situation. As a consequence of this, I guess the mayor of Los Angeles declared a curfew, and it was pretty quiet last night because of the curfew. People went home and didn't riot, but they're back on the streets today. Although most of the people out in the streets today, not just in California, but all over the country, are peaceful demonstrators, actually demonstrating against ICE. I'm not a huge fan of demonstrations. I don't like demonstrations because they really inflict harm on people not affiliated. They block traffic. They make life difficult for people. But we allow demonstrations. That's what we do. So, we've got demonstrations all over the country. Most of them, as far as I can tell, are peaceful demonstrations. Most of them do not involve carrying Mexican flags and wearing keffiyehs. And I see this one guy, he's got a keffiyeh on, and he's carrying the flag of the Soviet Union. That's the way. This is an opportunity for a group of communist, anarchist, Hamas-loving nutcases from the left to get attention and to do what they love doing, which is smashing things. This is an opportunity for the nihilists to get in on the game. But counter to what many people are saying on TV, I think that Fox News has a emergency in LA 24/7 coverage. This is insane. We've got about 3 to 6 city blocks in metropolitan. Sorry, I said 8 million. The metropolitan LA is 18.6 million. You got 3 to 6 city blocks in downtown LA where there are and have been riots. They keep showing the same fire over and over and over again. The same Waymo cars over and over and over again being burnt. It's like, are they burning the same cars over and over? Are they keep ordering more Waymo cars and burning new Waymo cars? I don't think that's true. There's this notion that LA is in flames, that the only thing preventing LA from burning down is the National Guard and now the Marines. But that's just simply not true. The National Guard so far been involved in very little. They've accompanied ICE on some of their raids. They've been behind the police in the background. But almost all of this is handled by the local authorities, as it should be. The Marines, by the way, I've seen video of the Marines. They're training, they're practicing crowd control. This is not what Marines are trained to do. It's not what Marines should be doing. It's not what we should ever use Marines for. But Marines are being trained. I guess there's a sports field somewhere in Los Angeles. They've taken over the sports field, and you've got them in formation. People on the ground practicing what they would do. In terms of crowd control. This is not what they're trained again to do. So we're now training Marines to control American crowds, not even Iraqi crowds or something like that, American crowds. So they're there. They're not on the streets yet, although, hard to tell when exactly they will go. We're spending gazillions of dollars on National Guard and Marines. The pictures of the Marines training are actually quite funny. It's a soccer field. I'm just looking at the video. By the layout, it looks like the soccer field over there. In Los Angeles. This is the 700 Marines, 2nd Battalion, 7th Marines, 1st Marine Division. They're from 29 Palms, California. And this is in the Northcom Stadium. Northcom Stadium? No, they're from Northern Command. They're in a stadium. I don't know which stadium. All right. Anyway, this is going to be an ongoing story. Fox is going to blow it out of proportion. The right will make it out to be something that it isn't so far. Let's hope it doesn't evolve into that. There's very little reason for alarm. Indeed, the calmest people about these riots and demonstrations in LA are the people I know in LA who keep writing to me and saying there's not much going on. I hope that the people who burnt cars, throwing Molotov cocktails, and are fighting with police, I hope they get arrested. I hope they get thrown in jail. I hope that it is sad that a legitimate cause, which is the cause of immigrants and I think the harassment, the unjust treatment of immigrants all over the country, is being hijacked. That cause is being hijacked by globalized intifada. By the way, in New York, there's a protest right now at the street corner, and you've got kids, all of them, by the way, I don't know, like European looking, all of them really European looking, with kafirs, yelling from Mexico to Gaza, globalized intifada. I mean, these people are idiots, and it's sad. It's more than anything, it's sad. It's sad, again, that a legitimate cause, which is the cause of these immigrants and the treatment that they're getting from ICE, is hijacked, by far leftists who don't care about immigrants, who are not immigrants themselves, don't care about immigrants, and who are promoting a anarchist, leftist, often communist, pro-Hamas agenda, which has nothing to do, again, with the immigrants. And this is not primarily the immigrants themselves. Oh, you'll probably find one or two. You'll probably find some, and they'll be brought out by Fox and the right to show, see, this is who they are. But it's just a continuation of the campus protests. It's just a continuation of Black Lives Matter. It is nothing here actually about immigrants, and there was zero reason to use troops in Los Angeles. Zero reason to bring out the National Guard. Zero reason to bring out the Marines. There was no threat to the city of Los Angeles, and certainly no threat that the city authorities could not deal with. So, and finding the illegal immigrants that commit crimes and pointing them out. I mean, yeah, okay, so the 99% of illegal immigrants don't commit crimes, so we should leave the 99% who don't commit crimes alone. Anyway, that is my view. I mean, the whole crisis around immigration is bogus. It's wrong. It is based on lies, on deception. And yes, I mean, the border under Biden was unruly and horrible, but that's primarily because, we don't have a functioning legal immigration system. We don't have a functioning legal system to allow the people who can and want to work in the United States, come here legally, to be able to work. So, the reality is that illegal immigrants are less violent than Americans are. They pay more taxes than they take out in benefits. They haven't shifted the political map in the United States in any particular direction. They're not the ones responsible for the fact that California went left. They voted, in large numbers for Donald Trump this last election. Have been shifting to the right generally. There is just no argument that illegal or legal immigration are bad for this country. There's just no basis for that. You can bring out, the few individuals who are bad apples, sure. That doesn't disqualify and doesn't change the fact that rights are being violated. American rights to associate, to employ whomever we want. Think about employers who are having their rights violated by ICE when ICE comes into their facility, unwelcome, uninvited, and dragging out employees that they voluntarily contracted with to do work. These are the rights of Americans being violated. But I guess rights don't matter anymore. And not to mention the overreach of ICE, where they arrest native-born Americans. But look, all of this is all the explanations and excuses and examples that they provide. None of it is real. I mean, all that matters is that Trump gets to fulfill a campaign promise. And he promised to deport millions of immigrants. He's going to deport millions of immigrants. He wants to be able to show that he has the capacity to bring troops into the streets, that he is willing to use that. He didn't the first term, but this term he's willing to do it. It doesn't even matter that they're going to do anything. They might all go back to base. But now everybody knows. Everybody knows. Cities, governors, and demonstrators all know that Trump is willing to bring troops into the street. It is like a hanging threat over anybody who opposes his power, anybody who opposes his ideas. The only time, the one exception to his willingness to bring troops into the streets is, of course, January 6th. God forbid we actually stop an insurrection, an attempted insurrection. We wouldn't want to do that. So this is all a power play by Trump to show that he's willing and capable of doing this. This is all an attempt to intimidate people. And it's just given an excuse for the worst people on the left to go out there and yell their disgusting views and disgusting beliefs into microphones. I mean, it would be good if we had a proper view of demonstrations in this country where you can't just rally your guys and go out into the streets and block traffic and just yell whatever the hell you want. You could use private land. You can go and write whatever you want, but you can't just obstruct people's lives with demonstrations. But then you'd have to apply it consistently, and there's no chance of that happening. It seems like demonstrations are just a part of what people believe. So this is this is just feeding MAGA hysteria. MAGA exists on the basis of fear, hysteria, panic, and a big part of that fear, hysteria, and panic is oriented around immigrants and the evil of immigration and the fact that immigrants are they believe immigrants are destroying this country, and no, it's MAGA destroying this country. MAGA is destroying this country. What we need is proper legal immigration. Legal immigration that opens our borders to more and more immigrants who can work in this country. We could easily absorb 1 million, 2 million immigrants a year with work visas, and let them work and do that, and illegal immigration goes away. There is no illegal immigration if you legalize work-related immigrants. It just goes away. Yeah. Jonathan says the Daily Beast article said that Trump gets a boner from ordering in Marines against protesters. And I think that's right. I think that's right. He thrives on power. He thrives on being a little dictator, a little authoritarian. He loves the idea of being able to command the military to go where he wants them to go, do what he wants them to do. He loves that. I think the Secretary of the Army yesterday called the military Trump's military, Trump's army. So he loves to think of it as his army. He has these toy soldiers he can play with. They're not so toy. And I think he really gets off. He gets off on being authoritarian, on sending troops into the streets of America. I mean, what would give a power luster more thrill, more excitement, more gratification than that? And I think that's exactly what he is doing. We will all suffer the consequences of that. All right. I think that'll work. Maybe this will get a little worse. Maybe this will get a lot worse. But, I don't know. And Democrats generally, or those who are critical of Trump, do everything you can to separate yourself, differentiate yourself from the nutcases who are turning these things into riots and turning these things into far left crazy opportunities to spout their hatred and their nonsense. By the way, fulfilling campaign promises that were bad to begin with is not a virtue, it's a vice.